So after the reveal of Liberty Falls yesterday, we got a bunch of brand new information from Treyarch about Black Ops 6 Zombies. Stuff that is exclusive to this map, some more features that will be in the game, some brand new details that we didn't know before. But just before I continue, I will say ever since the Liberty Falls reveal yesterday at COD Next, I've noticed a shift towards BO6 Zombies. Initially when people saw the gameplay of Terminus, everybody from what I could see was super excited and optimistic about the game, it looked good, but now that we've seen Liberty Falls, the second Zombies map, the smaller one, I'm not exaggerating when I've seen hundreds, thousands of comments of people doing a 180 saying that actually, having now seen Liberty Falls, Black Ops 6 Zombies isn't all what we thought. Terminus looked like such a good map, it looked like a proper Zombies map, whereas this one, Liberty Falls, resembles more of what we saw in Cold War, where a lot of the Zombies maps felt a lot like they could have been multiplayer maps or campaign missions, and a lot of them were. From what I can gather, Terminus made everybody think that Black Ops 6 Zombies, at least in terms of maps, was bringing back that Zombies atmosphere, and I will admit, I even kind of feel this way myself with this map. It doesn't quite have the same atmosphere or feeling. Terminus is very zombified and looks great, whereas this one just doesn't seem to be on that same level, which is fine, because at least Terminus still hits that spot, you still have that map to play. But considering Treyarch have had 4 years to develop this game, it is slightly disappointing that Liberty Falls doesn't look like it's on the same level as that map in terms of detail and depth and atmosphere, effort gone into it. It is supposed to be a smaller, not bonus map, but it's supposed to be the easier one of the two that caters more towards newer players or the multiplayer fan base, so they can get into Zombies easier. So maybe that's one of the reasons, but I would be lying if I didn't admit this map does look a lot more disappointing compared to what Terminus does. And I've seen thousands of people, I was watching the live stream yesterday on COD Next, say the exact same thing. I'm probably going to do a separate video on that, but I just wanted to briefly mention it at the start of this one. However, because it is a new map, it includes a bunch of new features that Terminus doesn't have, and Treyarch also told us some extra details about Black Ops 6 Zombies as well. So let's get straight into it. Now when it comes to the map itself, like I said, it's supposed to be a more user-friendly experience for the Warzone or MP players, and so for that reason, it's a smaller map. It's easier to navigate, it's a more simple layout. This is the minimap. It's still not tiny, I would say, in terms of size. I don't think Treyarch have said themselves how it would rank compared to other maps, but it feels like it'd be on the same level as something like Shadows of Evil or Zetsubo no Shima. It's big enough that there are zip lines that you can use to get around, but it's not as big as Terminus where you'll need a boat. I would say this is probably more familiar to us in terms of size, and when it comes to Zombies maps, Terminus is huge, whereas Liberty Falls is about the normal size. There are loads of points of interest. The church in particular contains the Pack-a-Punch machine. It is important to note that Treyarch disabled Easter eggs for COD Next, so there will be a lot more substance on the day of release, a lot more for people to do. Just watching the gameplay yesterday, after seeing people get to round 15, it seemed like that was everything there was to do. It was pretty boring to watch after that. It became really repetitive, seeing everyone just keep the ray gun and the thunder gun and repeat the same strat. I'm not going to hold that against the map because, like I said, Easter eggs add a different dimension. But in terms of the Pack-a-Punch machine, normally on a Zombies map you'd have to do a small quest to access it, such as just turn on the power or activate generators. But in Liberty Falls, it seems like all you've got to do is enter the church, so purchase the door or the portal to it, and the Pack-a-Punch is right there. There is no quest. That could be because Easter eggs were turned off, so Treyarch simplified it, but Liberty Falls might be the easiest map we've ever had when it comes to accessing the Pack-a-Punch machine. You literally just open a door and it's there. To be fair, it was the same for a lot of Cold Wars maps. Forsaken, all you had to do was make your way through the map and the Pack-a-Punch was active, so it's about in line, but other than that, the map seemed pretty simple. One of the big differences between the two is, of course, the wonder weapon. So on Liberty Falls, we have the return of the Thrusterdyne Model 23, or the jet gun, but it is much better than it was on Transit. In fact, I would even go as far as to say it's OP. It's really good. It works relatively similar, so it still has unlimited ammo, it overheats, but it doesn't break. Thank God. And it now has two abilities. It can still suck up zombies, which insta-kills them when they hit the fan. You can also pull in drops with it as well, so salvage and power-ups if they're a short distance away from you. And its secondary attack, which wasn't included on the jet gun in Transit, is when it's full, it then shoots out a blast, When I was watching the gameplay, it really reminded me of the Die from Die Machine. It looked like a more overpowered version of that. For the Die, you would basically suck in their souls, and then when you had enough, you could shoot out an explosion which would take out all of these zombies in front of you. The jet gun seems very similar. It's almost like a remodeled version of the Die, just 10 times more powerful. There are also loads of new traps. One of them, which is cool to me, is called Etherella, where she shoots an ether beam from her eyes, killing the zombies. She can also damage you, so you've got to be careful. Another thing that seems unique to Liberty Falls is, as a part of the gameplay, zombies drop keys occasionally, and there is a bank vault on the map which you can open by inputting 3 codes, and when you go inside there are security boxes, and you then use those keys picked up from the zombies to open them and access rewards. Honestly, every reward I saw was rubbish or mid at best. It was stuff like green scrap or grenades, low rarity weapons. Perhaps the higher up in round you go, you can get better quality stuff. It'd be cool if in one of these security boxes was something like the jet gun or the ray gun. I'd put money on that being a thing, but it seemed extremely rare. From what I saw, the majority, or actually all of the rewards people got, were average. And still sticking on the gameplay side, kind of, the other big difference between Liberty Falls and Terminus is, on Liberty Falls there is no set crew, it's just operators, which I think doesn't help. When people are complaining about the lack of atmosphere and character on this map, you then throw in the fact that there's no set cast on it, like there is on Terminus, we're playing as operators. It really doesn't help at all. How hard would it have been for Treyarch to give us, I don't know, the CIA or the CDC like they did on Nuketown? Even something like that would be better, because that's a set cast that you play as. They would still have their own backgrounds, but when everyone can just play as meaningless operators, yeah, when the map's suffering as it is compared to its counterpart, I don't think it was the correct decision to make. There are 3 different enemies on this map, excluding the zombies, which are the Manglers, the Vermin, and the Abomination. But out of anything, to me, the most interesting thing Treyarch told us was regarding the intel system and how that will work in Black Ops 6 Zombies compared to how it did in Cold War. So reading their tweet, they told us intel is complementary to the story, so instead of telling a lot of the story through intel like they did in Black Ops Cold War, they will now be showing more through in-game cutscenes rather than intel documents, radios, ciphers. And the best part is, whatever intel you do collect, it will provide you some answers, but it will also leave you with a few questions. So a lot of what we had in Cold War was just very direct. It said, this person did this and this was the result. Whereas in the old storyline, what Treyarch used to do was say, well, this person could have done something, but it also could have been this person, and this is what might happen. Or they just wouldn't tell you what would happen at all. They would leave it open-ended. So in Black Ops 6 Zombies, they're kind of going back to that, where the intel that you do collect won't be so direct. It won't tell you the answer. In fact, it will leave you questioning and leave enough room there for you to theorize. That was something I really missed in Black Ops Cold War, was having the room to come up with your own theories, because Treyarch pretty much told you everything. Or even if when they didn't tell you something directly, it was obvious enough where you could come up with an educated guess or something close. So I'm really excited for that. I think that's a massive improvement for the storyline, because I like the intel system in Cold War. I kind of missed it when it wasn't included in Vanguard or Modern Warfare 3. It was really useful in Cold War. It was just, it wasn't engaging. It kind of took over from cutscenes. But for Treyarch to tell us cutscenes are going to be the priority, they will tell a lot of the story through that. That will be at the forefront, and intel will now be at the background. But still there's stuff for you to collect and learn. That's 100% better. And the final thing they said, although they've told us this before, they elaborated more on it, to do with the guided Easter eggs in Black Ops 6 Zombies, where they said, we're excited to grow the Zombies community with Directed Mode, an optional playlist releasing later in season that guides players through a main quest with round progression capped to certain steps. Side quests and Easter eggs will be disabled, so the focus is entirely on experiencing the Dark Ether story. Perfect for those curious fans you've been meaning to bring into the fold. So basically, they've already told us this, but there is an option to do a guided Easter egg where you'll have these steps on screen that will tell you what you need to do in order to complete the egg. But it will be capped. You won't be able to go up to a super high round, you won't be able to do side Easter eggs. The game will just tell you how to complete the main Easter egg, and you will follow those steps and complete it. There will still be a challenge there, and for anyone who's worried, well, won't this ruin the secrecy of Easter eggs or the surprise? No, because this option won't become available weeks until the main Easter egg has been discovered by the community. So this is basically just for anyone who doesn't want to look up a YouTube guide. You can just play directed mode and the game will tell you how to complete the main quest. So there we go, everything we learned from Liberty Falls and a bit of new information to do with BO6 Zombies as well. Let me know what you guys think about this map in the comments section below. I'd be interested to see what the actual viewers of this video think, because I've seen what people in the COD Next livestream thought. It wasn't the reaction I expected, especially off the great start that I think Black Ops 6 Zombies had in terms of the marketing. So to see the community to do a 180 was interesting. But yeah, I might do a video on that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like rating if you have. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.